in
Right.
Hillsborough County.
Yep,
Back then, you were so focused on working for pro-life.
still am.
And yes, tell me why. Because we had a nasty scare that something bad almost happened. For the folks that don't know or forgot, tell them what happened and tell us what the next risk is with regard to protecting our children.
Right. So Amendment 4, which in Florida was the abortion amendment to amend that you could have an abortion up till birth.
And this was a constitutional amendment.
Constitution,
It's
which
huge.
meant you really couldn't get it changed. So as throughout the nation, a lot of those amendments got on their ballot. And what's really sad is how the left lied so much about our current law and about the existing amendment that they were going to try to pass.
Remind the folks some, because you're right, they were very, very crafty.
So several things that were wrong was you could have abortion till birth, till like right before the baby was born. That it didn't say that it had to be performed by a doctor. It was a term that's not even in our state statutes.
Vague, super
Very,
vague.
very vague. And then, what's really sad is there's no follow-ups. And gosh, there were so many things that were...
If this bill had passed, it would have been a massive blow.
Right. It would have really set women's health back. And they kept saying it's health care, but it's not. So many women who've had abortions have serious health problems the rest of their life, physically as well as mentally. And so, by the grace of God, it failed, but it doesn't mean...
Barely.
Barely.
It almost passed. I mean, the governor was championing, was trying to prevent it.
Right.
Number of groups trying to prevent it. It was a massive effort throughout the state to try to defeat this constitutional amendment to the state of Florida, and it almost passed with all of that happening. So,
Yeah, one of the big lies that was told was that our current law, which is 6 weeks, you can have an abortion up to 6 weeks, they kept saying, well, there's no exceptions. There were exceptions if the mother's health was at risk, or, if they thought the baby had a problem, they could go in and check things out. So there was that. And then they kept telling women that, after 6 weeks, your doctor can't help you for anything if you have a problem. And so many people misunderstood our current law and the impact of this law. And there was no liability also in the amendment. And so if a doctor botched stuff up,
free and clear.
yeah, they were free and clear.
Can you believe that, guys? Can you believe that? It's such a step backwards for women's health. And even though that bill got defeated, you're right. Why are we still talking about it today?
Right. So it was just so many lies, and we don't have money in the pro-life. I mean, people are giving money to churches and many other good things.
Just a little closer.
The pro-life movement, it's, just a lot of families and don't have a lot of money. But the other side, Planned Parenthood, has, as we know from the big, beautiful bill, billions of dollars they get from our government. And so hopefully, I've already heard that several hundred of their Planned Parenthood, and what an oxymoron, just the title, have closed. But more importantly, one of the things I hope to do over the next couple of years is to reach out and educate women who have had abortions that we love you, and let's heal. And see, this is exactly why we were concerned about you getting an abortion, is that the pain of having it and the tragedy that lasts so long. So hopefully the next year, took a few months break after working on everything so hard, but just gearing up, and my goal is just educating grassroots.
And it's so important, this education, because my friends, make no mistake, the people that wanted to get this passed, they don't go away easily. This is going to come back. And we have to prep now so that when it comes back, not if, but when it comes back, it is completely defeated and obliterated. And as I'm listening to you talk about education. As you guys know, we have the Reclaim Campaign Conference taking place in July 26th. My producer's putting it on the bottom over here, reclaimcampaign.com. At that campaign, the second of our 7 objectives is to show you how to raise more money in your location so that you can achieve the goals that you have to achieve. If you're part of a group and you're not doing something called micro fundraisers, you got to come to Reclaim Campaign, because it's 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. training right here in Venice, Florida. It's an hour and a half from
Yeah.
where we sit.
Yeah.
We're going to show you not just that, but we're going to show you how to get competent leaders in office that will make sure that this kind of stuff doesn't happen. Did you know, my friends, that this bill that we've been talking about, no, it's not even a bill, a constitutional amendment that we're talking about, the very manner in which that issue got put on the ballot is now under investigation
Absolutely.
because of illegal
Two things. They lied to people about what the amendment was actually about, and they also fraudulent signatures were found, many. And I mean, I had friends, the way it was worded, that thought it was a pro-life amendment.
Yes.
So, and I'm like,
conservatives thought that this bill was pro-life. It was that devious how they marketed it.
Right. So a bill did pass this session. I forget the bill number, but where those petitions, the policy and procedure has changed for petitions and also for what it takes to get things on the amendment, because the purpose of the amendments years ago was citizens like ourselves would have initiatives to put on. But now it's big industries that want to make a lot of profit, whether it's marijuana or whether it's Planned Parenthood, because as you would probably say, make no doubt, Planned Parenthood is about making money off abortions. They do very little to really help families or women. The significant amount of their money, 99%, is all about abortions and convincing women to get them. Honestly, whether they're pregnant or not, because who knows, when you go in there, if you're really pregnant, they give you pills, and they perform surgery, and...
There's a lot of impropriety, and I don't know if my friends, I just learned this recently. Planned Parenthood, in fact, the whole pro-choice movement, the columns of the pro-choice, they are so resistive to simply allowing the mother to having a ultrasound of their womb. Why on earth would you resist an option like that? If you're so pro-choice, wouldn't you want to give the mother all the information that they need to make an informed decision? They're so resistive to passing information about alternatives to abortion, like adoption, foster care. They clamp down on those things. And when you look at where the funding comes from, and you just got to follow the money, funding for Planned Parenthood comes from the industries that profit from the byproduct, the baby's body parts. I'll just put it bluntly, from abortion. So there's a massive conflict of interest. So important what you're doing, so important about the education. If people want to know a little bit more about you, how do they contact you, or how do they get a website, or what, how do people, because people are going to be like, hey, I want to connect with Teresa.
My website's really easy, embracelife911.org.
Embracelife911.org. Teresa, thanks for being with us today.
Thank you.
Please continue in what you're doing. And my friends, if your heart was tugged by what you heard from Teresa, please make sure you go to her website, which is
embracelife911.org.
Thank you guys. Keep it right here. We're going to keep giving you live updates right here from Turning Point USA. We'll be right back.
Thank you.
Hold it.